Tandy Bowen, a white girl from a middle-class family, often finds herself alone. Her dad, Nathan, works long hours at Roxanne, and her mom is usually unwell. After ballet class, Tandy waits in the rain. When her dad shows up, they argue briefly until he gets a call about an oil rig. Just then, the rig explodes and their car crashes into the water. Meanwhile, Tyrone Johnson walks through the city with his brother. Their friends suggest stealing a car, but his brother refuses. Tyrone tries to help by stealing speakers and gives them to him. His brother, frustrated, tells him to take them back. A police car shows up and they run. At the docks, his brother tells Tyrone to hide as he distracts the police. Tyrone watches his brother fall, then jumps into the water. At the same time, Tandy tries to wake her father, who's trapped. A second explosion underwater releases a powerful energy that hits both kids. Years later, Tandy survives by scamming wealthy men with help from her boyfriend Liam. Tyrone is a high school basketball star, but struggles with his emotions. In one game, Tyrone gets into a fight, and his parents, who now live better lives, scold him. Tandy, on the other hand, stays in an abandoned church. Roxanne blamed her dad for the explosion, leaving her family with nothing. Her mother turned to alcohol. Liam hands Tandy the $500 he stole and suggests crashing a Fours party to rob others. Coincidentally, Tyrone is invited by the cheerleaders. At the party, Tandy bumps into him on purpose and steals his wallet. When Tyrone realizes it's missing, he follows her to a graveyard. As he catches up, a white light glows in Tandy's hand and knocks him back. Tyrone is suddenly surrounded by shadows as his powers also awaken. Tandy realizes he's the boy from the accident, but disappears when he touches her. She hides out and returns to the trailer where her mother lives, hiding the stolen items in a pink bag. She lies, saying she was with Liam. Her mom, excited about her new lawyer boyfriend, notices Tandy's injured hand. When she touches it, Tandy sees a joyful memory and realizes she can sense and influence people's hopes. Tyrone wakes up dazed and sees a red-haired cop with a scar, James Connors, the officer who killed his brother. When Tyrone had reported him, Chief Watts denied his existence. Now, hearing the name Leo, Tyrone checks an old photo and confirms it. He later wakes up inside the trunk of Connor's car after teleporting through shadows. He hears Connors plotting to sell drugs from the evidence room. When Connors opens the trunk, Tyrone throws drugs at him and escapes. Connors catches him, but when they touch, Connors feels Tyrone's intense fear. Leo, the officer who killed Billy, was haunted by guilt and covered it up with help from others. When Tyrone confronts him, he teleports to safety. Meanwhile, Tandy wants to go back to dancing and gets ballet tickets. But a rich man she once robbed shows up and attacks her. She defends herself with a light dagger and escapes, unsure if he survived. She tells Liam to help her leave town. Tandy calls the hospital and learns the man is still alive and could identify her. She needs fake ID. At a laundromat, she's told the documents cost over $10,000. Liam finds part of the money, but when Tandy checks her savings, they're gone. Her mother spent it on the Roxanne case. At the laundromat, she notices a wedding planner with cash and plans to steal the tips held by the maid of honor. They sneak into the wedding. Liam finds the woman, but Tandy feels his hopes. He wanted to marry her. Overwhelmed, she avoids the topic and hides in the bathroom. She steals the wallet and escapes with Liam in a wedding car. When he asks questions, she makes it clear she never wanted a real relationship. Meanwhile, Tyrone can't stop thinking about Leo. He follows him, but misses practice and gets punished with the team. They beat him up, and though he tries to teleport, he can't control it. Later, spying on Leo, he makes a sound and runs. At home, he watches his mom keep the family strong after Billy's death. Blinded by anger, he breaks into Leo's house with a gun. Just then, Tandy, driving to save Liam from arrest, crashes into a tree after seeing Tyrone suddenly appear. Confused, she runs. Tyrone hears sirens and escapes. Officer Karen, leading the stabbing case, questions the rich man. He lies, claiming a man attacked him, but the evidence doesn't support his story. Tandy wipes the car clean and returns to find her mother drunk with her boyfriend. She treats her wounds in the bathroom, but her mom walks in. Karen knocks. The mother lies, claiming she hasn't seen Tandy in months. Karen says she isn't there to arrest her. She just wants to help and thinks Tandy is a victim. After Karen leaves, her mother looks for her, but Tandy's already escaped. Feeling cursed, Tyrone visits a psychic with classmate Lisa, who gives him a cleansing bath. During the bath, Tyrone sees young Tandy. She also sees a young Tyrone. They share their pain and realize healing only comes together. Their souls are now bound like the twins of Orleans. Tandy calls Karen to report the man who attacked her, but the case is already closed by his influence. Frustrated, she heads to the church and finds Tyrone. He admits he saw her in a vision. They share what they've learned and realize Roxanne gave them their powers. Tandy says if she had Tyrone's gift, she'd avoid pain forever. When they touch, energy throws them apart. Tandy tells him to learn more about Leo if he wants to expose him. She suggests pretending to be a crime victim, maybe a stolen bike, to get close to the station. Meanwhile, Tandy grows suspicious of her mother's boyfriend, Gray. She finds out he truly loves her mom and is dedicated to the Roxanne case. She visits his law office for info. Gray is still legally married, but lives separately. Tandy knows this fact upsets her mom. Tyrone tries going to the station, but leaves overwhelmed by the trauma. His dad sees wire cutters in his bag and takes him to meet the Red Hawk Clan, a cultural group. There, Tyrone meets an elder who teaches him about scouts. Billy was meant to be one. His dad gives him a special cloak that helps control his power. Tyrone keeps it as Billy's legacy. Meanwhile, Tandy learns her mom and Gray had a big fight. Their relationship is breaking. She visits the office and sees a disguised woman kill Gray and set the place on fire. Gray had found dangerous info. Back home, her mom tries to call Gray to apologize. Tandy, worried, heads back to the ruins, opens a safe with her dagger, and recovers key documents. Tyrone returns to the station and speaks to Karen, the officer Tandy mentioned. She says Leo works in Vice and is dangerous but being watched. Tyrone reveals Leo is dealing drugs. Karen agrees to look into it, but warns him to stay away. However, stopping small-time crime doesn't fix the problem. Karen suspects Leo works with a cartel taking over the drug trade. She questions Liam in jail, offering freedom for info on District 12's operators. He gives her a lead. Karen finds a dancer delivering cash at a club. The dancer thinks Karen wants drugs like corrupt officers. Karen pretends to use drugs to gain trust and infiltrate the ring. Meanwhile, Tyrone preps for a big game. His mom, skipping work to support him, reveals her top client is Roxanne. Meanwhile, Tandy discovers Roxanne's yearly gala and plans to sneak in. She steals a private school uniform and poses as an influencer to get hired as an escort at the event. There, she reads the thoughts of executives. They all think of a man named Peter Scarborough. Using her power too much, she accidentally triggers Tyrone's. He starts seeing teammates' fears and loses focus. During halftime, he teleports to the gala, panics, and asks Tandy to send him back. She pushes him down the stairs, triggering his return. Tyrone returns to the game, but he's off. He misses a key shot and the team loses. That night, he dreams. Leo is arguing with Dune, Billy's old friend. Leo failed to protect the network, and Dune confronts him. Tandy reviews her documents, many signed by Peter. She decides to face him, wearing the stolen uniform. She fakes a flat tire outside his house. Peter falls for her act and steps out. Tandy reads his thoughts. He dragged workers' bodies from water, stole their money, and covered up the disaster for profit. She sees a helmet labeled Mina and remembers her from the gala. To reach her, she pretends to be an intern. Mina Hess, an environmental scientist, is the daughter of Yvonne, the only survivor from the explosion. Mina accepts her help, but says she'll need protective gear. Tandy gets what she needs and heads back to the church. There, she meets Tyrone, who tells her Dune is connected to Leo. Dune refused to let him in the group. Tandy says if there's no space, Tyrone can take one by pushing someone out. He thinks about it. Tandy visits Mina's house filled with plants and books. Mina avoids talking about the explosion. She reveals they weren't extracting oil, but something much stronger. Her dad warned the rig's pumps couldn't contain it, but they kept drilling. To prevent another accident, Mina placed pressure valves across the city. Tandy mentions her dad was blamed. Mina says he wouldn't have made mistakes. Later, a tech reports valve issues caused by bad installation. Tom cut corners and nearly caused another explosion. Tandy, angry, damages his car and almost attacks Mina, but stops herself. Mina, upset by the lies, reveals her dad never spoke about the disaster. So Tandy looks for Yvonne. Meanwhile, Karen pretends to be a user to get into Leo's circle. Leo arrests and beats a dealer, whispering that the boss is being watched. The message reaches Dune. Leo lies to Karen, saying an anonymous tip will expose the boss. Tyrone uses a backpack delivery as an excuse to approach Dune, but Dune confronts him. Were you there when Billy died? Are you working with his killer? Tyrone, hurt, recalls no one believed Billy was murdered, not even Dune. Before they can talk further, Leo arrives. He tells Karen to stay in the car and knocks on the door. Dune tells Tyrone to leave through the back. As Tyrone sneaks away, Leo shoots him, aiming for Dune. Tyrone makes a sound, and Leo chases him. Tyrone barely escapes by teleporting. Swallowed by dark fog, Tyrone sees the day of the rig explosion. Workers see him and Tandy and attack, thinking they're hallucinations. They hide in an office and find Ivan trapped in a time loop, reliving the blast. Ivan explains that the energy they drilled affects minds, spreading fear like a virus. He remembers calling Nathan Bowen the day of the explosion. Just then, the phone rings. Tandy answers. It's her father. She's transported to a control room and surrounded by monsters made from fear. Still on the call with her dad, she can't let go. Tyrone closes valves and resets the system, but nothing works. Tandy won't leave the illusion. Tyrone tries to pull her away, but only enters her mind. Inside, years have passed and Tandy forgot him. Tyrone begs her to wake up, but she holds onto her dad's memory. so he ends to call himself. Tandy, furious, attacks. Tyrone says, "Are you sure that was your dad?" Asks something only he'd know. The phone rings again. "Are you driving on Paris Road?" "Who's in the back seat?" No reply. She realizes it's fake. To wake Ivan, Tandy shows him Mina's cookies. He remembers the love behind them. Ivan snaps out of it and says he must close the valves himself. Mina visits him in the hospital. Tandy, happy yet heartbroken, knows she'll never see her dad again. Ivan tells her Nathan wrote a warning about rig problems, stored in a safe deposit box under the alias Bernie. On Memorial Day, Tyrone meets with the Red Hawk clan. Tandy shows up to invite him to a tribute. Karen calls. Leo seems unstable, maybe recalling Billy's death. Tyrone dresses like Billy to provoke him. Karen helps alter his look to confuse Leo. Tyrone tricks Leo into confessing. Karen arrests him. Meanwhile, Tandy finds her father's safe deposit key. Using Tyrone's mom's badge, she enters Roxanne and retrieves the warning memo and faulty valve samples. Roxanne ignored critical alerts, leading to fear, violence, and death. That night, Tandy and Tyrone hold a ceremony to honor the lost. Tandy chooses to expose Roxanne, not for money, but to clear her dad's name. Her mom joins. When Tandy touches her, she sees a dark truth. Nathan wasn't the good man she thought. He cheated and mistreated her mom. Disappointed, she takes the money instead. After Leo's arrest, Karen suffers a loss. Her police partner is murdered. She calls it in, finds a weapon under the sofa, and evidence proving Leo shot Billy. He's suspended. Though Billy is now seen as a hero, Tyrone feels empty. No one ever apologized. Tandy focuses on the lawsuit, avoiding Tyrone. She stops answering Mina's calls. Even after achieving justice, the pain remains. Tyrone proved the truth. Tandy exposed Roxanne. Yet both feel broken. Dreams lost in the shadows. Ivan still praises Nathan, frustrating Tandy. Mina suggests she work with Roxanne to complete her father's work. Tandy rushes to steal Mina's hope. A bee passes, a painful reminder of the past. Tandy didn't save Liam out of kindness, but to steal the dream she hoped would heal her. Before speaking to Tyrone, she blames him for entering her mind. Lisa tries to help, but learns Liam stole Tandy's money. Tyrone's mom warns that if a cop can kill and get away with it, there's no justice. Then, police burst in and accuse Tyrone of murdering Karen's partner. He escapes through the window. Just like his mom warned, things spiral fast. As panic spreads, workers are struck by energy, and others faint from fear syndrome. Tandy returns to find the person behind Gray's murder holding her mom hostage. Tandy forms a blade of light and stabs her attacker. Her mom defends herself with a gun, and they flee. Tandy calls Mina, but there's no answer. She urges her mom to hide, revealing that Peter hid the same energy released in the explosion to keep using it. Mina gets ready to act. Tyrone heads to the Red Hawk territory for his father's cloak. When police arrive, he teleports into a crowd and sees panic everywhere. A local news station retells the twins of Orland's legend. One must sacrifice themselves to save the city. Tyrone is arrested, but not restrained. He's locked in a storage room. Leo arrives to take over. Chaos grows when a man infected with fear syndrome breaks into the station, spreading it quickly. At the same time, Tandy and Mina reach Roxanne. Peter says the valve controls are in building 616. As they head there, they're ambushed by monsters and an assassin. Tandy uses her light blade to break open a container. She and Mina take cover. Mina is caught and infected. Tandy uses her powers to help. Police seal off the area. Tyrone escapes and finds Tandy. In desperation, he electrocutes Mina to calm her, but the fight leaves his powers unstable. Finally, the twins reunite. Through tears, they vow to save the city, even if it means sacrificing themselves. Their grief fuels their determination. They head for the control room. Karen gives them cover from above with a sniper rifle. As she reloads, Leo appears and shoots her, forcing her to pull back. Tyrone finds him, drags him to the rooftop, and confronts him. He doesn't want to kill him, but when Leo runs, Tyrone's code, Billy's legacy, activates with new strength. He realizes Lisa's prophecy was true. His power wasn't about dying. It was about reaching his purpose faster. Rather than split up, he and Tandy face the threat together. They join hands and unleash their full power. In a blinding light, they contain the fear. New Orleans is saved. The curse of sacrifice is broken. Both survive, but the fight isn't over. Karen, thrown into the water by Leo, emerges changed. Her infection is unlike the others. A new danger looms.